Hello everyone, myself Miss Lokhande Vaijayanti Mahesh, B Farm, lecturer at Mula Rural Institute of Pharmacy Sonai. Today we will going to discuss about central nervous system part 2nd. In last part we was discuss introduction of nervous system, introduction of brain, introduction of ventricles and cerebrospinal fluid. In this section we will discuss about brain and its part and function. Second, cerebrum. Next one, thalamus and hypothalamus. Next one, midbrain. Next, hindbrain. And last one, cerebellum. So we will start. First part, that is parts of brain and their function. First one, cerebrum. The largest and uppermost part of the brain. It is divided into two hemispheres or valves called the cerebral hemisphere. Areas within cerebrum control muscle function and also control speech, thought, emotion, reading, writing and learning. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain and composed of right and left hemisphere. It performs higher function like interpreting touch, vision and hearing, as well as speech, reasoning, emotion, learning and fine control of movement. It is located under the cerebrum. The surface of cerebrum consists of thick layer of grey matter called as cerebral cortex. It is the largest part, forming 85% of total brain, and it covers the rest of brain. This diagram shows the functional areas of cerebrum, that is taste and smell, uppermost speech area, lateral frontal lobe, premotor area, motor area, central sulcus, sensory area, next to that visual area, next occipital area and next auditory area. This diagram shows lateral views of the brain. This diagram shows cerebrum, medulla oblongata, pons varoli, occipital lobe, temporal lobe, parietal lobe, central sulcus, precentral gyrus, frontal lobe and lateral sulcus. Next one we will discuss function of cerebrum, that is lobe. First, frontal lobe function. It control voluntary motor function, motivation, foresight, planning, memory, mood, emotion, social judgment and aggregation. Next one, parietal lobe function. It receives and integrates general sensory information, taste and some visual processing. Next one, occipital lobe. Occipital lobe function, primary visual center of the brain. Last one, temporal bone. Temporal lobe function areas for hearing, smell, learning, memory, and some aspects of vision and emotion. Next one, insula, that is hidden by other region. It helps to understanding spoken languages, taste and sensory information from visceral receptor. Next one, we will discuss thalamus and hypothalamus. The thalamus and hypothalamus are located within diacephalophylon. In that first one, hypothalamus, it is composed of number of groups of nerve cell. It is situated below and in front of thalamus and immediately above pituitary gland. Hypothalamus perform following functions. First one, it control ANS, hunger, thirst, heart rate, urinary bladder contraction. Second function, it acts as an intermediate between nerves and endocrine system. Third one, it maintain walking state and sleep pattern. And fourth one, it regulate normal body temperature. Next one, thalamus. Thalamus, it is an oval structure above midbrain in each cerebral hemisphere. Thalamus performs following function, that is, it is a relay center of impulse. The thalamus relay sensory impulses from receptor in various parts of body to the cerebral cortex. A sensory impulse travels from body surface towards the thalamus, which receive it as a sensation. This sensation is then passed on to the cerebral cortex for interpretation as touch, pain or temperature. Next part of brain, that is midbrain. The midbrain or mesencephalon is the forwardmost portion of the brainstem. It is situated around the cerebral adequate between the cerebrum above and the pons spherally below. It consists of group of nerve cell and nerve fiber which connect the cerebrum with lower part of the brain and spinal cord. It is associated with vision, hearing, motor control, sleep and wakefulness, alertness and temperature regulation. The name comes from Greek mesos means middle and encephalon means brain. So we can call that midbrain, that is middle brain. Next one, hindbrain. The hindbrain consists of first one pons spheroli, second one medulla oblongata, and third one cerebellum. Hindbrain, also called as robocephalon, region of the developing vertebrate brain that is composed of medulla oblongata, pons and cerebellum. The hindbrain coordinate functions that are fundamental for survival, including respiratory rhythm, motor activity, sleep and wakefulness. The pons affect activities such as sleeping, walking and dreaming. The cerebellum controls balance and coordination of the movement. In that first pons varoli, the pons contain nuclei that relay signal from the forebrain to the cerebrum, along with nuclei that deal primarily with sleep, respiration, swallowing, bladder control, hearing, equilibrium, taste, eye movement, and facial expression, facial sensation, and last one, posture. Second one, medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata is located at the base of your brain, where the brainstem connects the brain to your spinal cord. It plays an essential role in passing messages between your spinal cord and brain. It also essential for regulating your cardiovascular and respiratory system. It is about 2.5 centimeter long, pyramid shape with its base upward. Next one, we will discuss its function. They act as a relay center. This part contains 3 reflex center. In that first, cardiac center, second one, respiratory center, third one, vasomotor center, and fourth one, reflex center. Fourth one is optional. First one, cardiac center. It regulates heartbeat and force of contraction. Second one, respiratory center. It controls basic rhythm of breathing. Third one, vasomotor center. It controls the diameter of blood vessel, that is contraction and relaxation. And all 3 centers are important. Fourth one, reflex center. Protect the body from uneven situation, vomiting, coughing, sneezing, and swallowing. Third part, that is cerebellum. The cerebellum, which stands for little brain, it is a structure of central nervous system. The cerebellum is situated behind the pons and immediately below the posterior portion of the cerebrum. It is ovoid in shape and has a 2 hemisphere separated by a narrow median strip called the vermis. This is a diagrammatic representation of cerebellum, that is all the brain structure including cerebellum, that is I am mentioned in below slide. Spinal cord, medulla oblongata, pons varoli, cerebellum, midbrain, dicyclophyllon, that is thalamus and hypothalamus. Different features, sulci, gyrus, and largest part of our brain, that is cerebrum. Last one, we will discuss function of cerebellum. The cerebellum is concerned with the coordination of voluntary muscle movement, posture, and balance. It coordinates activities associated with the maintenance of the balance and equilibrium of the body. It is also involved in certain consecutive functions such as language. The cerebellum plays a major role in adapting and fine-tuning motor program to make accurate movement through a trial and error process. It play important role in emotional development by modulating sensation of anger and pleasure. Damage to the cerebellum result in clumsy, uncoordinated muscular movement, staggering gait, and inability to carry out smooth, steady, and precious movement. Then next part of nervous system we will discuss in next part. Thank you.